All right, welcome back in. Hanging with Hester, presented by Richards Honda. Hunt Palmer here with me on a Tuesday afternoon. Glad to welcome in the head baseball coach at LSU, Paul Mainieri, to the show now. Coach, how you doing?
Jacob, I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well. Can you believe that SEC play is already upon us?
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it being upon us. This first 4 weeks of the season has been a real mixed bag for us, and I think I have a better feel for our team now, and looking forward to the competition. But we still have a game with South Alabama tomorrow, so we can't look too far ahead.
Hey, Coach, that was actually going to be my first question, talking about where you were as far as figuring things out and guys maybe stepping up and showing you that they could handle being in the lineup every day. Giovanni DiGiacomo is the guy that we talked about last week. We wanted to see him maybe step up in this UMass Lowell series, and he did that. He was 7 of 11, 3 RBIs. Are you starting to see some growth from Giovanni?
Yes, I think so. I mean, you'd have to be a blind person not to see it. He went out there and played so well this weekend. He didn't play perfect. He had a couple of base running snafus, I guess is what you would call them. But he should be a smarter player because he's such an intelligent kid. One time he broke from third base when he shouldn't have gone, and there was another base running thing that he had done. But man, he swung the bat so great. He didn't make any great catches in the outfield, but I thought he played a good, steady center field for us. Most of the plays looked routine, but with the wind and the sun, they're not as routine as they may look to people sitting in the stands. But I'm really happy about the way Giovanni has emerged, especially.
And he did that. He was 7 of
4 weeks of the season.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, welcome back to Hangin' with Hester with Jacob Hester. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in. Hanging with Hester, presented by Richards Honda. Hunt Palmer here with me on a Tuesday afternoon. Glad to welcome in the head baseball coach at LSU, Paul Mainieri, to the show now. Coach, how you doing?
Jacob, I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well. Can you believe that SEC play is already upon us?
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it being upon us. This first 4 weeks of the season has been a real mixed bag for us, and I think I have a better feel for our team now, and looking forward to the competition. But we still have a game with South Alabama tomorrow, so we can't look too far ahead.
Hey, Coach, that was actually going to be my first question, talking about where you were as far as figuring things out and guys maybe stepping up and showing you that they could handle being in the lineup every day. Giovanni DiGiacomo is the guy that we talked about last week. We wanted to see him maybe step up in this UMass Lowell series, and he did that. He was 7 of 11, 3 RBIs. Are you starting to see some growth from Giovanni?
Yes, I think so. I mean, you'd have to be a blind person not to see it. He went out there and played so well this weekend. He didn't play perfect. He had a couple of base running snafus, I guess is what you would call them. But he should be a smarter player because he's such an intelligent kid. One time he broke from third base when he shouldn't have gone, and there was another base running thing that he had done. But man, he swung the bat so great. He didn't make any great catches in the outfield, but I thought he played a good, steady center field for us. Most of the plays looked routine, but with the wind and the sun, they're not as routine as they may look to people sitting in the stands. But I'm really happy about the way Giovanni has emerged, especially since Maurice Hampton got hurt. So our options in center field now are more limited, and if Giovanni can play every day, it would obviously be the best thing for our team.
Coach, I know the shortstop position has kind of been one that's been shuffled around, but Cranford has a 4 for 8 weekend with 4 RBIs, and he's played well of late as well. Is he somebody that you can see taking over that position?
Well, I think he has taken over the position, and it's not just that he got a few hits. It's his energy level that he's playing with. He's very vocal out there. He's very emotional, and when Milazzo throws a guy out stealing, he's pumping his fist and sprinting off the field, and he's really displaying a lot of leadership, some good emotion out there. And, honestly, he's played better shortstop than I even thought he would. He hasn't made it, knock on wood, he hasn't made an error yet. He's made some outstanding plays. And, during the fall, he was coming off Tommy John surgery, so he wasn't able to throw the ball. His throwing has been very accurate. And in the preseason, it was not so accurate, but he had, like I said, hadn't thrown a baseball, all fall in competitive environment. And now he's been really steady. He's made some good plays. He's hitting the ball the other field. His bunting is getting better. He's got a little bit of speed, although it hasn't been displayed as much as we'd like it to. I think he's capable of stealing some bases. But I think Collier has done nothing but prove that he belongs to be the everyday shortstop.
Coach, after the game on Sunday in Houston, Kay Beloso was interviewed, and he said he was really irritated that his pitcher went out and did that, and the lineup couldn't help, and he sensed some frustration. It's a long season, but do you get the sense that last weekend getting that sweep, swinging the bats really well, was good mentally for your guys?
I think it was great mentally for us the first 2 days. I was disappointed in how he swung the bats on Sunday. I thought that was going to be a day we'd go out and get 15 hits and score 15 runs and really put a capper on to the weekend, where our confidence would have been really sky high. Not to mention getting our team batting average up to something that, out of the cellar. And then we go out there and get 5 or 6 hits the whole game, and if not for Gavin Dugas's heroics, we would have probably lost the ball game. And so it's a little bit perplexing to me how for 2 days we could be so outstanding and then go out there on Sunday and not really throw the quality at bats up there, strike out 8 or 9 times in the first 5 innings. So I think we're still a work in progress. And I told you at media day that the pitching was going to have to carry us early, and now I think we've figured out what our best people are to play every day. Obviously, Garza being out is not one of our best guys being in there, and hopefully he'll be back soon. But Maurice Hampton getting hurt has kind of unclogged the situation, I guess, a little bit. But I really liked the way Maurice was coming on, and I thought he was going to be our everyday guy out there. But who knows? Maybe this Sunday 2-homer day gives Gavin Dugas a lot of confidence, and maybe he'll go on a nice tear now. So, I just like to see us, just be a little bit more consistent at a high level and not rely on our pitching to pitch a shutout for us to win. We need to be a little bit better offensive team than we've shown.
Let's talk a little bit about that pitching. Obviously, Cole Henry's outing cut a little bit short on Friday, getting ready for SEC play, but he feels good. You expect him to be a full go on Friday?
Yeah. I think we're going to probably push him back a day just to give him an extra day's rest. He just had a little bit of, fatigue that Friday night. It was kind of a struggle for him, and I could tell he was kind of, not really getting an out extension with his curveball, which gave me a sign that maybe he had a little fatigue in his arm. So we're probably going to give him an extra day and pitch him on Saturday instead of Friday and move Marceau to Friday.
Coach, your rotation has been outstanding, and when you look at the bullpen, you've got so many weapons coming in, and I think that Jaden Hill has really been the buzz of town when he comes in. I mean, it gets every single eyeball. What have you seen from him that's been so dominant? Because every time he goes out there, he looks like he's a different pitcher, and I mean that in a positive way, right? He's throwing different stuff, it seems like, every time he goes out there, and one of his pitches is more dominant than the last time out.
Well, I wanted him to pitch on either Friday or Saturday this past weekend so that he'd be well rested for next Friday, in Oxford. And, of course, we blew him out on Friday night, and then on Saturday, all of a sudden in the 5th inning, we throw up a big crooked number, and the score starts to get a little bit lopsided. So instead of bringing him in the 6th inning, or in the 7th inning like we've been doing, I said, let's bring him in the 6th inning because, number one, I don't want the people to leave. I want the fans to stay, and I want him to pitch in front of a good crowd because I think he feeds off the electricity in the crowd. They like watching him, and he creates a buzz in the stand. So I want him to pitch when the game was still somewhat in doubt. You know what I mean? And it was a good thing because he went out there and was able to extend to 4 innings, and only threw 36 pitches to do it. So he was very efficient. But what makes him great, Jacob, in answering your question, is he's just got great athletic ability combined with he's got finesse out there. I mean, he knows how to pitch. He's not just a big, strong guy that throws hard. He's got a good slider. He's got a great changeup, and he throws strikes. And then you add that to he's just a very poised, competitive guy. So he's got the intangibles, he's got the physical tools, and he's got the repertoire of pitches. He's special, and I think he'll continue to be special.
Coach, I know you got another one in South Alabama, but just a couple things on Ole Miss this weekend. One, I've been to College Station. I've done Oxford. I've done Athens, Georgia. I've done Starkville. And Ole Miss is my favorite away environment to be a part of. Do you enjoy going to Oxford and playing in front of that crowd?
I enjoy it when we win. Yeah,
Sure.
I could go to Mandan, North Dakota, and enjoy it as long as we win. It's a hostile environment. They're throwing things at our pitcher while he's warming up in the bullpen. They're not real nice out there behind the right field fence. They throw their beer up when they hit a home run, but they can get pretty nasty to our players. So it's a hostile environment. And the players have to have a great deal of maturity and self-confidence and have that it factor to be able to handle it there. And we haven't had great success, but we haven't had bad, we haven't been bad up there. We've won a couple of series up there and usually at least win a game. But the competition has been really good through the years, and I've enjoyed. I really like Mike Bianco, their head coach. He was the LSU guy, as you know, as a player and assisted Skip, and he's always had a lot of respect, of course, for LSU, and I have respect for him and the program that he has built there, and the competition has always been great. So, man, they're hot. They've won 14 in a row. I think they're ranked about 5th in the country. So it's going to be a tremendous challenge for us for opening weekend in the SEC, and again, we got to take them one game at a time. So our focus is on South Alabama, a really good club that almost beat Arkansas 2 out of 3 this weekend up in Fayetteville. So we can't look past these guys. We want to keep some good mojo going, getting ready for the weekend. So we need to go out and play well tomorrow night.
Sure. And the last one here is just kind of a general question. With the SEC Network and now that every game is on TV, do you feel like your team's maybe more prepared going into SEC weekends than maybe your Notre Dame teams were, back in the mid-2000s when you just kind of had to look at a stat sheet and maybe call somebody?
Well, you're right about that. So Alan Dunn spends a lot of time watching their hitters, and Eddie will spend a lot of time watching their pitchers. But remember, they get to do the same thing with our guys. So if we have tendencies or our players have certain limitations that are displayed consistently, if a hitter's having trouble with a certain type of pitch or a pitcher's pattern of pitching is the same, then they're going to be on to it as well. So you got to, it's kind of like football now. You got to always be making adjustments and changing and doing things. Like the coaches, I've coached against them now for so long. They kind of know what I like to do, what counts I like to hit and run on, and those type of things. And so we got to constantly be changing those things as well. So the scouting is so much better now. The caliber of the players is so good. It's a tremendous challenge for both teams. When you go out and play in these SEC weekends. So the talent differential is hardly discernible anymore. So it's really who plays better on a given day.
Catching up with Coach Paul Mainieri here on Hanging with Hester. Coach, I've got one more for you. I don't think we can end this interview without talking about Alex Milazzo and what he's been able to do behind the plate. I mean, last year was somewhere where the team struggled, but he has been so good as a freshman and even batting. I mean, I know he didn't get a hit on the weekend, but he drew 4 walks, and so he's giving you quality at bats. What has he meant to this team so far?
Yeah, I'll tell you, Jacob, he's really been a find for us, and so is Collier Cranford, as you mentioned, and they were high school teammates at Zachary High School. So to have 2 freshmen come in and play those pivotal positions for us has been remarkable, really, for them to be in there as freshmen. But Milazzo basically shuts down the other team's running game. He's so quick back there. He's a leader. He frames the ball well. He blocks the ball. He throws guys out. And like you said, even though he's not hitting for high average, he's had some quality at bats. And like on Sunday, runner at third base, he hits a ground ball to the second baseman when they're playing the infield back to get the run home for us. Goes in the books as 0 for 1, but if he'd have struck out or popped up in the infield, he wouldn't have driven in the run, and he got us that run. So he's a smart baseball player. I think his future is really bright here, and now especially with Garza having this muscle strain in his side, boy, thank God we've got him. He had taken over as the number 1 catcher anyway, but now it's more important than ever, especially with Garza on the bench.
All right, he is Coach Paul Mainieri. Coach, we appreciate your time. Good luck against South Alabama and over the weekend in Oxford.
Okay, guys, good to be with you today.